afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Robert Garza. I'm fortunate to serve as the president at Palo Alto College. We are here with Michael Ximenez and David Mancha from our Academic Advising and Student Success Division. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Garza.
Thank you, Dr. Garza, for having me. Yes.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. An important part, I think, of student success begins with not only when students come in through their new student orientations, but academic advising. It's really a critical piece of moving forward, so students are staying in tune to their program and making sure that they're taking the right courses that they need so that they can obtain their degree or certificate before they transfer on to that four-year institution or into their job. So let me begin with the question is, can you tell us a little bit about what does that entail? So if I'm assigned an academic advisor, what does that mean for me as a student?
Sure. I mean, that's always a great question. People will say, I'm going to have an assigned academic advisor. What does that mean? We always tell them, hey, this is going to be your personal coach. Your academic advisor is going to be with you from entry to completion throughout your academic career here at Palo Alto College. We are primarily the ones that help the students identify what are their academic and personal goals. Because it's not just about what you want to be successfully here at Palo Alto College, but life after Palo Alto College. That's one thing we always emphasize to our students, like, hey, we love that you're here, we love your educational journey here, but let's think about life after Palo Alto College. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. How can you get to that next step or your own personal and professional goals that you want to achieve? And so that's one thing we always keep in mind with our students. And we're very focused on, we deliver, holistic advising services. And what we mean by holistic is that we treat every student as unique. No two students are the same. We know they come from different economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, ethnicities, academic levels. There's a wide array of students, and we treat everybody unique, and we create their own individual success plan, what we call ISP, mapping out their journey from their very first days at Palo Alto College all the way till they graduate us and then move on to those next steps of their lives.
Wonderful. What about peer advisors? I know that Palo Alto College in advising, we have peer advisors. Who are peer advisors and how do they help other students connect with their advisor?
Sure. Peer advisors are probably some of our greatest assets here at Palo Alto College. Peer advisors are students just like our current students here at Palo Alto College, but they've already been with us for at least a year, earned 30 credit hours, and so they're more acclimated to the educational life and rigor here at Palo Alto College. But these peer advisors help our current students navigate not just the academic advising services, but the services overall here at Palo Alto College. So sometimes, for whatever reason, David or myself may seem a little bit intimidating to students, but they can also talk with a peer advisor, a student just like them, and that peer advisor will help them answer those critical questions such as, where do I find my degree plan, or where do I go for tutoring services, or how do I get involved here on campus? Those peers also give them important updates and reminders of, hey, don't forget to register for classes. Hey, we have payment deadlines coming on. There's these unique events on campus. So our peers are students just like them that have already been through the system a little bit, not the system, but the higher education road, and help these students navigate and connect them to important services here at PAC.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And as we're moving forward, and we always have our students first in mind, what does a typical day of an advisor look like? So I'm at Palo Alto, I'm an advisor. What does my typical day look like?
I'll let David answer this one, who's one of our certified advisors here. David.
Yes, well, a typical day in the life of an advisor, it's always fun. Now, I know Michael had mentioned that each student is never the same. Every student that I've had has always been completely different background, completely different grades, and all that other good stuff. So the day in the life of an advisor is very exciting, I'll tell you that. But what's nice about what we're able to do is, like Michael said, we help. I like to think of us as being a guide, right? We help you to get from where you're wanting to go to get to your end goal. And as an advisor, it's our job to help make sure that we guide you through that process correctly to ultimately make sure that you're successful. And ultimately, that's how we keep students first, is by helping them get to their end goal of what they're wanting to do, for sure.
Well, we've been going through this horrible pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. What are some of the things that you've been hearing from our students, and how have you been able to guide students to overcome these challenges that they're facing every day for this last, I'd say now 14 months?
Oh, that's a great question, Dr. Garza. So I know one of the things that a lot of students like are having that face-to-face interactions in class. Now, one of the things that as an advisor we had to do was we had to adapt to that changing situation, right? Because I can tell you, I know 95% of the students I would see before pre-COVID were all completely face-to-face, and making that that whole 180, that transition to being completely remote, it's been difficult, but one of the things that students do miss is that face-to-face interaction. But one of the things I like that we've kind of done and that students have seemed to appreciate is the fact that we're able to offer them those remote online learning options. And actually that's worked out a lot for students who maybe have other obligations that they have to do outside of college, because they're still able to get that face-to-face interaction while still being able to completely remote in from wherever else they may be at.
Yeah, and one of the things too, we always talk to our students about being resiliently. When everybody's going to have daily challenges, obstacles are always going to be coming our way, and it's about how you overcome those challenges to be successful versus, running into those challenges and just thinking, I can't do it. There's always a way to overcome those obstacles, and those are always some of our great conversations that we have with students is, hey, let's figure out alternatives. How can we get this problem solved?
Wonderful. And I appreciate all that you all are doing for our students as we're moving forward. We have an award-winning Charlie Garcia academic advisor joining us with David Mancha. But then I also understand we've received a NASPA award. Can you tell us about our NASPA award?
Yes, Dr. Garza. The NASPA is, it's an award that highlights innovation in innovative initiatives, either around programs or policies or procedures or best practices within academic advising or career advising, or sometimes even graduate programs. And we were fortunate enough that last fall, despite everything we're going through with the COVID and the remote learning, we applied for this award last fall saying, hey, we do some pretty good things here, and we've shown some pretty good success with our students, and we've got some good feedback. So we applied for this award last fall, we're meeting about December. And then, believe it or not, during the snowvid, when we had this terrible snowstorm here in San Antonio, where we got snow for 2 days and a week, we got notification that we were Silver Award winning for this NASPA Excellence Award. And so this award just, helps us solidify and understand and help us grow and move forward. But the great work and job that not only are we doing here at Palo Alto College, but as an educational institution whole across the nation, because this is not something unique to Palo Alto College. But again, this Excellence Awards help solidify some of the great things that we believe and feel that we're doing with our students. And it's all about continuous improvement. How do we continue to better serve our students? How do we be proactive versus reactive? So yes, our NASPA Excellence Award. Thank you, Dr. Garza.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Michael Ximenez, Director of Academic Advising, and David Mancha, a certified advisor, award-winning certified advisor here at Palo Alto College. Thank you all so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it, and thank you for putting students first, and continue to keep that resilience and movement going as we move into the summer and for fall 21. Thank you.